Hello, good evening. No, can you hear me? No.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, very good. Are you live streaming from YouTube too, or you just watch from here?
I'll be watching from here.
Okay, I guess you should equally live stream from YouTube, such that when there are questions and I can't answer and I can't see them, we can, I don't know, maybe just go on YouTube and type the comments. Let me see.
Okay, no problem. I feel yes, I can hear you.
All right, very good. Are you live streaming from YouTube too, or you just watch from here? Okay, it's just getting to YouTube now.
Yes.
Okay, I guess you should equally live stream from YouTube, such that when there are questions and I can't answer and I can't see them, we can, I don't know, if you just go on YouTube and type the comments.
The live chat on YouTube is not on sale.
The live chat is not on.
Yes.
Okay, let me see.
The live chat on YouTube is not on sale.
Live chat is not on. Yeah. Okay, let me see.
Hello.
Wake up, boy.
We should have checked this yesterday.
I think it's because the live is not from YouTube directly. Sure you get.
Okay.
I think that's why.
But the one I joined, it was able to chat.
Are you sure?
Yes. We should have checked this yesterday.
live YouTube directly. She gets okay. I think that's why.
With the one I joined, it's the chance.
Are you sure?
No, what are you writing on my screen? What's the meaning of this? Turn off your video, I beg. No, for me, the YouTube is actually working. The live chat is working. Noel, are you with a child? Are you sure you're with your phone?
I'm with my phone now. That's what I'm checking.
From here, the live chat is working actually. I'm here now.
Yeah, we are good to go. It's working. It works only on app, not browser. I was using browser before.
All right, no problem. How do I look, young man?
Fine.
Good evening, everyone. How is it going with us today? Good evening. How is it going with us? Well, by my time, it's actually 6:05. And if we keep to time and watch properly, we should necessarily keep to time because time does not wait for us. So without much ado, I welcome everybody to this session. It's really going to be an exciting one. And one thing I can assure you of is the fact that you would certainly get value for your time. And the value which you'll be getting here is absolutely free, not just free, but which can actually guide you to making so much money this year if you actually put them into action. So once again, I personally welcome everybody to this session. Let me just give about 2 minutes for people to still join, for those who will be interested. But one thing I'm sure is this, that this session would actually all that has come to stay. It's going to be a monthly cryptocurrency blueprint bootcamp, where going forward, we'll start sharing deeper secrets and details of the cryptocurrency market, cryptocurrency trading, or what have you. So let me just give a probation of about 2 minutes before we dive into the session. So it's 2 minutes already, and I guess it's sufficient for us to start because time is of the essence. Time is actually of the essence. So Once again, good evening, everyone. And I officially welcome you to the Cryptocurrency Blueprint Bootcamp. This is actually the flyer for the event, and I'm super excited for everyone who has joined this session, who has registered. And one of the things which I can assure you is the fact that you're making one of the best or right decisions for yourself this year. Because in this cryptocurrency space, there is so much opportunities which you can benefit from. And part of it is what I'll be revealing tonight. And equally, this is actually one of the financial freedom system or financial confidence environment which you can have for yourself. So if you're on this session this evening, I'm saying a big congratulations to you. So welcome to the world of cryptocurrency. I guess by my observation, this is about 6:10, which is actually a comfortable time for us to start. Quite a number of persons may still be engaged in one or two activities. They will join us maybe later or subsequently. So let me go dive into the issue which we'll be discussing this evening, which is the fundamentals of this class or event was put together by the African Institute of Smart Technology in conjunction with the cloud attorneys. And this is generally to help build industry knowledge, help build capacity, not just amidst traders, but persons interested in the cryptocurrency space, but need adequate knowledge before they participate. But before I continue, kindly do me a favor. Copy the link of this session, send it to one of your friends or family member, tell him to join this session. And after the session, ask him for a feedback or a review, because the value which you will be discussing this night are secrets which you can't find anywhere. They are not, they are product of my experience in the cryptocurrency space and studies. So welcome once again. The Cryptocurrency Blueprint Bootcamp. Meet your tutors. Let me start from Emmanuel. Emmanuel Adekombi is a legal practitioner and is actually one of the best cryptocurrency traders that I've actually met and interacted with. And I can tell you for sure, he will be taking us through a step-by-step guide to peer-to-peer trading, which is a session which we'll be having tomorrow. Then my humble self, for those who have not met me before now, my name is Isaac Ijuo. I am a legal practitioner. I'm equally an associate with the cloud attorneys, a cryptocurrency attorney, trader, and educator. And interestingly, I'm equally the founding partner of the African Institute of Smart Technology. So welcome to this session. What would we be discussing in this bootcamp? Number one, we'll be talking about the fundamentals of cryptocurrencies, which will entail we discussing what Bitcoin is all about, how to store your Bitcoin, the technology that powers Bitcoin. We equally be diving deep into the solution which the technology has brought about. And we'll now be capping it with questions and answers. That's actually the session which we're having this evening. So if you're not ready, I strongly believe you should even get away every distraction so that you can focus on this session. Then tomorrow, we'll be discussing the step-by-step guide to peer-to-peer trading. This was as a result of the fact that quite a number of persons were reaching out to me and to Emmanuel that following the CBN guideline, they cannot buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrency at the moment using their Visa card or smart card, because Luno and other international cryptocurrency exchange platforms had to suspend both withdrawal and deposit in Naira. So a lot of persons have been bothered, how can they invest in this lucrative space? Noel Adekombi will be taking us through this session. Then finally, tomorrow, we'll now be discussing risk and security tips in the cryptocurrency space. quite a number of persons, even in Nigeria, because last I checked, the population of persons who have adopted cryptocurrencies are still minute. And for a lot of persons who are just coming into the cryptocurrency space, there are quite a number of risks in the market. And I will equally be discussing those risks, how you can avoid those risks, and more importantly, security checks, security chips and tips in the cryptocurrency space. Because I strongly believe that for every invention, there are usually people who would actually paint it black or do something negative with it. So these are the things I will be highlighting tomorrow, and I hope you will equally join me. So let me know whether you're following this session. Kindly go to the chat box, give me one of your best emojis. Let me know you can hear me, you can see me clearly, and you're following this session. Go to your chat box, just give me your favorite emoji before we start the fundamentals of cryptocurrencies. Just one or two, and I will kickstart. Okay, thank you very much. Fundamentals of cryptocurrencies. What would we be discussing in fundamentals of cryptocurrencies? Number one, we'll be discussing what actually or what exactly is Bitcoin. Number two, we will discuss a little bit about how Bitcoin came about. In this particular topic, I'll be even be dovetailing a little bit into the evolution of money up to the point that we are. Then number three, we would highlight who controls Bitcoin, who controls the cryptocurrency space. Number four, how do you store your cryptocurrencies? Number five, we will discuss the technology that powers cryptocurrency and even Bitcoin. Then we will now highlight the solution which the technology provides. Then I will now cap it up with the opportunities in the cryptocurrency space. Then we have questions and answers. So I strongly believe you're super excited and ready to be here. So let us dive in. What is Bitcoin? For a while now, precisely since last year, Bitcoin has actually been one of the most searched word on Google. Quite a number of persons have been going to Google to ask what is Bitcoin, where can you buy Bitcoin, who controls Bitcoin, and how does it work? This is not surprising. This is as a result of the fact that Bitcoin went from an all-time high of $19,800, which is about, at that time, about 4.5 million naira at that time, to about $3,700, which is a Niagara 1.5 million naira at that time, using the calculation of 365 per dollars. Ever since that day, sometimes in March last year, Bitcoin kept rising, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, until creating a new all-time high at 16,000. Now, let me now make it interesting a little bit. For anybody who has bought Bitcoin in March last year at 1.5 million, the person will be valued at over 24 million naira now. Now, let me just tell you a little bit of story of how I started in the cryptocurrency space. I first knew of Bitcoin through MMM, and at that time it just seems like something funny and something too casual. I believed so much in the invention, and I went deep into researching on that. I bought my first Bitcoin, I think, in 2014 or thereabouts. Yes. So let me now answer the question: what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin, simply put, is just a digital money or a digital currency. However, I would like to take everybody a little bit higher than that level of being a digital currency. Bitcoin is actually a network-centric currency, an international network of payment and exchange, which is completely decentralized. I do not want to make it too academic, and that's why I made it that way. Bitcoin is a network-centric. By network-centric, it simply means that it is controlled by a particular network, which is the blockchain network. It is an international network of payment and exchange. Let me tell you, one of the most interesting parts is the fact that for the first time in a whole lot of human history, someone in Australia can comfortably send money to anybody in Africa with just $1. For the first time in human history, we do not have challenge in transferring value over the internet. So it is an international network of payment and exchange. For companies who have started accepting Bitcoin, because as of 2011, companies like Virgin Airways, Dell were already accepting Bitcoin as a means of exchange. Put simply, they can actually sit in America and accept Bitcoin from anybody in Africa with a very minute network fee. And the most interesting part about Bitcoin, it is completely decentralized. By decentralization, it means it is just two persons communicating between themselves, sharing value and assets between themselves, not needing any third party, either the government or the bank. That's actually the best definition I can give you on Bitcoin. How Bitcoin came about? How did Bitcoin actually came about? I was seeing some tweet post or something, sometimes last month, that somebody said Bitcoin is money in the air. It's actually funny to me. Some even claim that Bitcoin is, I don't even know, the definitions are just the numbers. But how did Bitcoin came about? Just watch this image on my screen. You will see something clearly, the evolution of money. How money started from barter, then we moved to gold, to metals and all. Now, let me just talk a little bit of this barter system. I would clearly recall that the first barter system was done in Rome, where somebody exchanged cattle for a particular goods. So, for instance, I can as well go to a market and tell the person, give me this your goat in exchange of 15 bananas. That is actually the meaning of barter. But because of two reasons, because of portability and storage, we could not continue with the traditional measures of exchanges. We could not continue with barter because, one, we cannot value the object we are exchanging. For instance, we can't value an iPhone and a Nokia Touchlight the same way. But during the barter system, just because I needed a Nokia phone at that time, I may as well have to exchange my iPhone 12, which is more expensive. So because of that, human evolution started considering certain things. And that is actually where we kept evolving from using barter to other things. So let me quickly chip in something. So some persons will go ask, how old is money? The truth of the matter is, money is as old as human civilization. And being that we must actually transact is the reason why money was created. So from barter, we moved to using gold. We could recall watching some movies in the early 2000s where we saw merchants moving into cities. And whenever they get into those cities, they have to exchange for gold. They have to exchange currencies for gold. They were using it as a means of exchange. Then from gold, the government had to hijack money from merchants, from people, and we're now using coins. That is why, if you recall properly, Jesus himself said in one of the Gospels that give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. And if you check it very well, it was a coin. I hope you're connecting the dots. Then on and on, we moved into central banking. That was as a result of the global economic warming that was happening at a point in time. The truth is, the kings and authorities could no longer manage money. So the thing was particularly crashing. Money was no longer durable. Money was no longer available to people. So central banking came as a rescue. And quite a number of persons were believing that that is actually the next evolution at that time. It made so much sense that central banks now exist. And that was where central banks started printing paper money. That is why we have US dollars, we have euros, we have naira, we have cedis of Ghana and all, and every currency, every country has a central bank that prints its currencies. However, evolution does not end. We need other means of storing value and moving things easily. And that is where plastic cards came. Where I believe strongly that almost everybody has a MasterCard, a Visa card, or a Verve card. And that is the first time in a long time where money went absolutely digital. That's why I said Bitcoin is not just a digital currency, it's a network-centric currency. So by the way of information, let me just gladly tell you that quite a number of dollars, euros, pounds, naira are actually digital. We hold them in our bank account. We hold them in different forms. That is actually one thing that makes it interesting. So from plastic cards, we move to electronic money, where we can sit from the comfort of our home, transfer funds from the United States of America to a domiciliary account in Nigeria. But now this is the problem. The likes of Western Union, PayPal, and other international means of payment were expensive for connecting human beings in financial transactions. For you to send $1,000 from US to Nigeria, the Western Union can claim as high as $200. That absolutely does not make sense for our financial transactions. It means we have to burn extra because we want to reach out to the other parts of the world. And in the midst of that economic crisis in 2008 was when Bitcoin came about. Now, let me just state it precisely. Bitcoin is actually not the first cryptocurrency, not the first digital money per se. Digicash is, but it did not last. But Bitcoin came to solve all of the problems in the cryptocurrency and digital money space. Bitcoin was founded by some pseudo person named Nakamoto Satoshi. Satoshi started Bitcoin to solve some particular problems, which include the need for us to transfer money seamlessly between individuals without needing the government. Number two, to avoid occasions of double spending. Let me go to the next slide so it makes more sense. So I know quite a number of persons will now ask, if Bitcoin is completely, or the technology is absolutely decentralized, who then controls Bitcoin? This is how the blockchain system works. It works on cryptography. By cryptography, it means encryption. And if we go by encryption and currency, that is actually encrypted currency. That's where cryptocurrency came from. So now cryptography works on various forms of encryption, which are written in nodes and codes, such that data are stored on databases and remain immutable. So this is actually how the Bitcoin network works. Whenever you register on the blockchain network, you become part of the participants. You own a block, meaning nobody controls your funds. You are completely independent, just as each of the blocks are independent, yet they act as one. That is why in the cryptocurrency or blockchain space, we talk about consensus protocol. Once you're a participant, everybody has already agreed to your presence. Nobody can just come and type a wrong password to your account and get access to it. You are part of the decision makers in the cryptocurrency space. So we all the participants control Bitcoin, control the blockchain, control cryptocurrency space. Now, let me just mention something quickly. For a while now, we will notice that quite a number of persons talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. Now, Bitcoin is a currency on its own. While every other one that exists, we call them alternative currencies. Alternative currencies. That's where you wear altcoins. Now, you now ask, what is the major difference? Bitcoin is 100% a decentralized currency, whereas all of these alternative currencies are in forms of shares, utility tokens created by people that we know. So Bitcoin is 100% decentralized, while alternative currencies are partially centralized and decentralized. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you're following me. Just go to the comment section and type something. Let me know you're following me, you are understanding everything I'm saying. So that I don't just talk and talk and talk. Let me know you're following. Let me know you're following. Let me just give me 1 or 2 emojis. Let me know you're following. All right. Noted and taken. How to store your Bitcoin. I strongly know that maybe it seems like I'm jumping a particular step for another, because it should be first off, how do you buy Bitcoin? That's actually the session which we'll be handling tomorrow. That will be the peer-to-peer network, which is actually the foundation of cryptocurrency. That's the session which we'll be handling tomorrow. It's actually basically tomorrow. So what I'll be telling you more now is how do you store your Bitcoin? Bitcoin is usually stored in wallets. There are various forms of wallets. There's hard storage, there's cold storage, and there's decentralized storage. By decentralized storage, it means you are storing your Bitcoin on the blockchain network itself. You're not taking it out. Why a cold storage is you are moving your Bitcoin into storage mechanisms like Trezor, like it looks like a flash drive, which you password. It is actually encrypted too. So those are actually the major forms of storage of Bitcoin. But Bitcoin, for this purpose, is stored in wallets. And where are these wallets created? We have the blockchain itself, blockchain.com. You can create an account for yourself. And immediately you create an account, you get a verification email. And immediately your wallet is being generated. Luno is equally, though a centralized exchange platform, you can use it to actually create and store your Bitcoin. Number 3, Coinbase, you can equally register and store your Bitcoins there. And every other exchange platforms which we see today. The only difference between storing your Bitcoin on blockchain, Luno, and other platforms, and on exchanges is the fact that in exchanges, you can actually use it to transact. While in all of those platforms, it's just basically storing them for the purpose of keeping them like an asset. That is just the major distinguishing difference. So you can store your Bitcoin comfortably. Once you buy them, they are your Bitcoin as much as they are your private key, and you can store them. It is rightly impossible for us to discuss Bitcoin without talking about the technology that powers it, the blockchain technology. The blockchain technology is actually, let me just define it a bit before I continue the discussion. The blockchain technology is a database that is used for storing, transmitting, and preserving data. It is almost like Google, but the only distinguishing line is the fact that Google is 100% centralized, while this is decentralized. I hope you're following, and I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Google is centralized, while blockchain is decentralized. It is not, although Google is a search engine, while this one is not. Now, I know you will further ask, what now makes it unique? The blockchain technology is unique on the following grounds. It is 1, immutable. Number 2, it is borderless. Number 3, it works on a consensus protocol. Number 4, it is censorship resistant. By censorship resistant, it simply means that once you have created an account, even the founder himself does not know your password. Yet, although the value of the Bitcoin in your wallet can be seen, but nobody can actually take it out, change your password, or block your account. So the blockchain network makes so much sense for every business transaction. Let me now go to the next topic, the solution which the technology provides. As you can see on my screen, you will see different stratas, different industries which are now adopting the blockchain technology: pharmaceuticals, logistics, food chain, financial transaction. The only one that is still lagging heavily is financial institutions. In short, as we evolve, communications too will start getting decentralized. So every industry at this moment is actually using the blockchain technology because it is easy for you to trace transactions. It is 100% easy to trace transactions. So the technology provides a seamless and easy means of storing data, a seamless and easy means of tracing data. Number two. Number three, the technology, being a transparent one, provides a means of accountability. Number four, the technology equally provides an enabling environment or an enabling system where financial transactions can move seamlessly. Let me just quickly add something. The blockchain technology is an invention which cannot be uninvented. And one of the things which I strongly believe is the fact that the blockchain technology was created for Africa and other third world. How do I mean? It is easy for money to move around Europe. Let me tell you that for free. It's very, very easy. It's easy for money to move around America, but it is very difficult for money to move just in Africa. But here is a technology that comes to show us, that comes to prove to us that financial transactions and every other sector that chooses to adopt it can easily transfer that value, store data, and all on this particular space. So the blockchain technology provides so much the enabling technology for the third world areas or the third world region, and it's actually a technology which everybody should adopt. Opportunities in the crypto space. This is just the last part of the discussion. Let me just dab my face a little. Sorry about that. It's actually hot in Africa, we know that. Opportunities in the crypto space. As Peter Drucker once said, for every evolution, it's only those who are willing to accept the change that will thrive. The blockchain technology has brought new business opportunities from education to financial transaction to making money to development to everything that you can actually imagine at this particular point. I was speaking with someone sometimes last month, and he was telling me about how he bought a particular product, a particular blockchain product, with about $1,000, and today is valued above $300,000. I'm just telling you this. So there are so much opportunities in the cryptocurrency space, and I will discuss a little bit of them, and you can equally make your research. Number one opportunity in the crypto space is the fact that you can be a trader. I'm a cryptocurrency trader. And I can tell you in truth that there is so much money, there is so much potential in this particular space, which everybody can make without inconveniencing another person. Because in general financial transactions, most times we usually use the forces of demand and supply and all. But this is the truth of the matter. The money in this space is sufficient to go around. Although Bitcoin came up with a 21 million cap in Bitcoin, 21 million cap, there will not be more than that. And that tells us that there's scarcity. And the reason is because to ensure that the reason why Naira, dollars, and pounds are volatile or the value keeps dropping is the fact that it is unlimited. But this is limited. And let me just give you a little glimpse of something. If something is 21 million and a population of over 7 billion is coming after that a 21 million object, what happens? The price keeps rising. As I said earlier, anybody who bought Bitcoin, sometimes last year, just last year, 1.5 million has made over times 20 of this investment, over 2,000%, 1.5 million to 24 million. As at before I joined this session, we can't even expect what will happen by December this year. And I equally recall that as far back as 2014, Bitcoin was just $500. Put in context, the Naira dollar exchange at that time was still 150. So by and large, it should be about 250,000 or 500,000. But let me just say 250,000. Now, anybody who took the wise decision to buy at that time and just held it till now, maybe you just even forgot it somewhere and just remembers that I bought Bitcoin at that time. Look at the valuation. Number two, cryptocurrency is actually a worthy asset of being held, to be held. Michael Saylor, do you know MicroStrategy, said something recently, which I will just paraphrase. He said, this is the first time in human history where we have the best store of value. He said, I'm not saying that, the way he said it was, I'm not saying that stocks, gold, silver, and precious metals are not store of value, are not good store of value. Yet, Bitcoin gives us that impression or gives us that assurance that money should actually be valuable. Assets should actually rise. They should not be static. Number two is the fact that you can actually be an investor. Anybody who invests in those cryptocurrency space never regrets it. Number three is you can become a blockchain developer. And at the moment, I can tell you for free, for a fact, is each developer is being paid over $10,000 at the moment, because there are still very, very few developers globally. Every company at the moment wants to actually enter the cryptocurrency space. They need developers. So it is something you should actually invest your time researching about. I am more of an educator. That's even the number 4 opportunity. You can become an educator. Number 5, you can become a miner. At the moment, quite a number of persons are leaving the Ethereum smart contract for Binance smart contract because they know they will get rewarded more in the Binance smart contract. You can do a continuous or further research on that to become a miner from the comfort of your home. Number 6, you can actually become a millionaire housewife. Let me just explain a little bit. There is what we call uncommon coins with uncommon profits. Those coins are not yet listed on major exchange. They are places where you can go and get them. You can buy those coins with as low as $10, $20, and I can tell you for a fact, as much as it's a good invention, a good project, although there are risk factors, there are risk factors, there are swindlers who actually come and take advantage of that opportunity and swindle people of their money. But you can actually become that one too. You can go to exchanges, not major ones, where you can actually buy them. Let me tell you another part. At the moment, there is no university in Nigeria that has a faculty or a department called digital currency. You can actually major on that. You can become a specialist in that respect. So the opportunities in the cryptocurrency space at the moment outweighs or outnumbers the opportunities that has ever existed since the creation of mankind. Let me inclusively add this one. You can equally become a freelance writer for a lot of cryptocurrency projects. You can become a business developer. At least I met one of them, the Binance business developer in Nigeria. He stays in Nigeria, he works remotely, but he's a developer in Nigeria. So these new opportunities, this invention has brought new opportunities new portfolios to our front that we do not even need to bother about so many things. The only thing you just need to concern yourself is how do you profit out of it? That is all. That's the only thing which I strongly believe we should even be concerned of. So I know a lot of persons have always heard of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and all. But I can tell you for a fact there are a lot of coins in the market which are solid projects. And when you invest in them, you can be assured of a tangible return on investment. Let me ask anybody, have you ever heard of an 100x investor? Let me hear your reaction before we conclude, before I answer questions. An 100x investor. Quite a number of traders who play by the rules and do the needful make 100% profit on every of their trade. Quite a number of traders. In short, quite a number of persons who I have trained to trade came back to testify that they made 100% of their capital in a very short time. This is just to tell you one thing, that as much as you obey the laws that are being taught, as much as you act on the things that are being taught, the money in the cryptocurrency space is actually sufficient to go around. And I strongly want you to benefit out of it. Do not sit on the fence while people are making money. This is not a period of indecision. This is a period where you have to jump in, take it the opportunity, act swiftly, and enjoy the space. So thank you for joining this session. I really, really appreciate this. Just used about 40 minutes. So let me know whether you have questions. Kindly go to the chat box, type your questions. I will give room for 5 questions. I guess we don't have questions. Okay, let me know maybe you understood everything I taught before maybe we even ask questions. Because I guess maybe we don't understand at first. If you understand, let me see your favorite emoji. Okay, I guess there are no questions because I have waited long enough. I think everything I taught were understood. So before we set to end this session, tomorrow we'll be discussing peer-to-peer, a step-by-step guide to peer-to-peer trading, where Emmanuel Adekombi will be handling. If you are having challenge with buying Bitcoin legitimately, because I know there are a lot of issues in the space which are yet to formally regulate, Emmanuel will be taking you through a step-by-step guide on that. Then number 2, we equally be discussing risk and security tips in the cryptocurrency space. So I truly appreciate you for joining this session this evening. Thanks for hanging around with me. Okay, somebody said altcoins in Binance Exchange, are they 100% trustworthy to buy? Well, the way I would just answer that question is the fact that you necessarily have to do your own research. There are actually metrics which I have taught people and which I will continue to teach people about on how you can use to determine a good project. You can actually use to determine the volatility level. You can equally use to determine the quality of the coin that you're buying. So I guess I've answered that question from Michael and Sarah. So I guess there are no further questions. All right. Thank you very much. And see you tomorrow. Kindly invite your friend for tomorrow's session because it's actually very, very necessary that they join. Thank you very much.